What's going on, YouTube? Back when luxury crossovers were barely more than a novel idea, the Lexus RX and BMW X5 were already fighting it out. Now today, these are two of the best-selling luxury vehicles on the market, and they continue to fight for the hearts of luxury buyers all over. So with a brand new RX on the market and a heavily updated X5 just launching as well, which option is the best choice for you? Let's go ahead and find out. Now, even though these two are sized very similarly, the pricing structures are very different, so let's quickly start with that. Beginning with the refreshed X5, we have the xDrive 40i model, which is the mainstream version most people pick. As typical for this kind of vehicle, we have a lot of options to add, $9,930 to be exact. That takes us to a total price of $78,425. Moving to the new RX, it is priced in a much more affordable way than its German rival. For about the same price as the X5, we can choose the fully loaded RX 500h and add basically all the features as well. After we do that, the total price is pretty similar at just under $73,000. Now this is going to be an objective comparison. We have done our best to weigh the points awarded throughout in major and minor categories. But at the end of the comparison, we will sum up with our thoughts and compensate for the price discrepancy. That being said, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Now you heard me say at the beginning that these two have been around since the late 90s, but it's safe to say that the designs have changed a lot since then. While the X5 can be made to look more aggressive, as equipped today, it looks a lot calmer and reserved versus the Lexus. The RX has aggression dialed up to 10. With a large black mesh grille and unique copper crest color option. Off to the sides of the faces, we have upgraded full LED projector headlights, both with cornering illumination. Only the Lexus has LED fog lamps below, and only the BMW has premium fading turn signals. Despite the front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive platforms, overall side proportions and design are similar. The RX is a couple inches shorter, and both of them have 21-inch alloy wheels. Despite the recent changes, neither the X5 or RX look very different in the rear. There are some individual differences though, like the premium hidden rear wiper on the Lexus and the integrated exhaust tips on the BMW. Tow ratings are in the X5's favor by a substantial margin. Now heading on to some of the other features, both of them have heated, power folding, auto-dimming mirrors with blind spot monitoring. And both of them also come equipped with all the latest safety features, including systems that allow for limited hands-free driving on highways. Finally, when it comes to warranties, the Lexus does have a longer powertrain warranty, but the BMW includes more complimentary maintenance. But we're just warming up here, so now it's time to head to the more important interiors. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
First approaching the vehicles, both of course have smart entry systems, and they have digital keys to enter as well. After we actually open up the doors and view the interiors, we have very different designs in just about every way. That starts with our seats, where the BMW has relaxed seats covered in Sensafin quilted faux leather, and the Lexus has aggressive sport bucket seats made with a suede and leather combination. They are both heated and ventilated with memory. As far as adjustments are concerned, the X5 already comes standard with more, but its available multi-contour package bumps it up to 20 ways, and it also adds massaging abilities, which is something the RX doesn't offer. Now that we've climbed inside, we can discuss the major point of cabin materials. The RX uses a mixture of soft-touch plastic, leatherette, suede, and real aluminum throughout. But the X5 pulls ahead here by covering nearly every surface top to bottom in leatherette, generous open-pore wood, and it even has glass for many of the buttons. After startup, you'll see digital gauge clusters on both, but the RX's is only partial. More important than that are the very customizable head-up displays that both models have. And coming back to the steering wheels, both are power adjusting and heated, although the BMW has a leather airbag cover as well as heated armrest. Okay, so next up, let's dig into the major area of interior storage. The RX is going to pull ahead here, with more efficient packaging, including a larger center console, front cubby, and wireless phone charging pad. I already mentioned the lovely glass shifter in the BMW, and the RX also has an electronic one. When in reverse, both are equipped with 360-degree camera systems, the Lexus with a transparent view, and the BMW with a 3D view. Now let's go ahead and check out the audio systems. Overall, both sound great, but the Mark Levinson in the Lexus packs more punch. Both models have physical volume knobs, but the same can't be said for the climate controls. Both are utilizing part of the main screens for most of the controls. However, the RX has the advantage of still having physical knobs to adjust the temperature, which is much easier to use when driving. Now we're already looking at the large screens, so let's talk about them. In the Lexus, it measures in at 14 inches, and in the X5, 14.9 inches. That's about 6% more screen real estate, so it does qualify for a point. Both are upgraded to the latest versions of iDrive and Lexus Touch Response, respectively, and overall performance and graphics are top-notch. Navigation systems, voice assistants, and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are all on board. It's not dark, so you can't really see it, but the BMW has much more elaborate ambient lighting, including a lighted emblem across the dash that responds to voice commands. Finally, the last thing to mention up front are the auto-dimming mirrors, which the RX also has a digital camera mirror system, and the panoramic sunroofs, which the BMW also has integrated LED lighting inside at night. Now it's time to head for the back and check out what we have back here. The first criteria is space, where the RX has exactly the same legroom, but the BMW has nearly 3 inches more headroom. Now for luxury features, we have rear climate controls and vents on both, but the X5 has an extra zone of adjustability. The BMW also has heated rear seats. While the RX can also get them, it's only when adding an additional package with power adjustment and ventilation as well. Lastly, the BMW has manual sunshades. Next, let's check out the cargo areas. After using the hands-free power opening tailgates, you'll find that the sloping roofline in the RX eats into its cargo capacity. The X5 has 44% more maximum space, although some of that space difference was eaten up by the spare tire in the RX. But let's not wait any longer to take this fight to the streets. German and Japanese automakers have totally different ways of going about things, as you've seen throughout this comparison. So you shouldn't be surprised that the same is also true under the hoods. The BMW has the more classic approach, with a turbocharged inline-6, although it does also have a mild hybrid system as well. The Lexus is a full hybrid, using a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with 2 electric motors. These wildly different powertrains produce similar results, 366 horsepower versus 375 horsepower, and 406 pound-feet of torque versus 383. In the end, it's the 0 to 60 that tells you how effective these systems are, and the BMW is about 12% faster according to independent Motor Trend testing.
Little sample there.
Yeah, a little quick jab of the accelerator. So as we talked about a little bit at the spec dump, one of the big things about this is that our 40i model, well actually all of the powertrains are updated this year, but specifically with the 40i that we're in today, that has quite a bit more power, 40 more horsepower than last year, from our 3-liter turbocharged inline 6-cylinder paired with a mild hybrid setup. 375 horsepower, 383 pound-feet of torque. So you will feel more power behind the wheel, more torque.
Still the same awesome refinement,
that
though.
part stays
Oh
the
my
same.
gosh.
Just like that, we are past 60 miles per hour.
Granted, yes, down a hill.
Down a hill. But, wow. We are in an RX, so, traditionally speaking, performance is not what you associate with a Lexus RX. But with this F-Sport performance, we're really trying to change that perception. And initial thoughts, the power feels pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Lexus says the 0-60 is about 5.9 seconds. I would say that that's about right.
Yeah,
Both models have all-wheel drive, but the transmissions are very different again. The BMW uses an 8-speed automatic, while the RX's hybrid system has to be paired to a 6-speed automatic for packaging reasons. While the 6-speed is nice and smooth, it does shift slower and is generally less responsive than the 8-speed. Now, if you're familiar with Lexus, their normal hybrid system, you'll know that this is nothing like that. This is really totally different, and one of the other things that makes it totally different, besides for the fact that everything has got a different arrangement, is the fact that we do have a 6-speed automatic transmission. So traditionally, of course, with a hybrid, you're going to have a continuously variable transmission. That is the case with the 350h model, but when you choose the 500h, that's going to upgrade you to the 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, accelerating at a more normal pace is a good time to mention the 8-speed automatic transmission. 99% of the time, it is absolutely just blends into the background. It's a really smooth transmission. Depending on which drive mode you're in, does change the character of it, as you'd expect. Sport mode is going to give you snappier, faster response. Comfort mode, like we're in right now, most people will drive around in all the time in this vehicle. That right there just kind of smoothly shifts through the gears as you accelerate. Let's also talk about ride quality. There really is nothing bad to say about either model, as they have earned reputations for being some of the most comfortable SUVs on the road. At the same time, neither of them feels sloppy because they have adaptive dampers. This allows them to change ride characteristics from pure comfort to a tighter and sportier ride when in sport mode.
Yeah, and as far as your ride quality is concerned, this is the standard setup, as Drew mentioned, and still so good for your ride quality. We're about to go over a bridge right now. And it does a really good job. Now, a really great ride quality going on here. We drove probably about 30 minutes before we started shooting this video, and on the highway, it really soaks up the bumps very well on a rough stretch of highway.
Now, I already touched on the adaptive suspension systems, but as far as other driving dynamics, both do a good job. They are not hard-edged sporty vehicles, even the RX with F-Sport performance in its name. But steering in both is nicely weighted and body control is well maintained. Now, going around that little bit of a corner and kind of merging onto the highway here would be a good time to briefly mention the dynamics of this model. Now, of course, this is a very luxury-oriented SUV, so even though it is a BMW, luxury is first and foremost. That being said, you do still have, your good basic German dynamics, which is going to be a fast-responding steering rack, good throttle response. Body control is quite nice. We don't have a ton of curves going on here, but like Mason was saying, everything really is enhanced with this model to just be more buttoned down without losing those traditional RX characteristics. So you'll notice behind the wheel, when you go around corners, everything feels nice and balanced. We don't have a bunch of body roll or anything. You know, this is not your grandma's Lexus RX, as you could say, because luxury crossovers are always expected to be quiet, and indeed, both really deliver. 53 decibels at 55 miles per hour is impressive, but under 52 decibels in the X5 is really impressive. That beats many fully electric luxury SUVs, and is a testament to the amount of sound deadening on board. This thing feels so fast. It's just so surprising that this is the base engine.
Let's get one of our big Car Confections signature elements, our sound level reading, going 55 miles an hour. Let's see how quiet this X5 is compared to some of the competition. Alrighty, there we go. Our official Car Confections reading, 51.6 decibels.
Wow.
Guys, that is so impressive. Wow. Okay, we settled at 53.5 decibels. Very good sound level reading now.
Finally, as you would expect, the hybrid RX does get better fuel economy. In this case, it's about 8% better overall. But now that we've gone through everything, let's return to the price difference and account for that. The X5 in this test rang in $5,450 more expensive than the RX 500h, meaning that the RX will get a quarter point per $1,000 or 1.25 points. So there you have it. The X5 is the objective winner, but now it's time for us to find your winner. So the X5 should be your winner if what you value most is that smooth and refined inline 6-cylinder engine. Also, if you want the maximum amount of cargo capacity and the most luxurious interior experience.
Now, the Lexus RX, on the other hand, might be your winner if you value the Lexus reputation for reliability. Of course, that's something always to consider when you're buying a luxury vehicle. Additionally, it does have physical climate buttons, so for those of you that really don't like the internal climate in the screen itself, certainly the RX will be your better choice. Additionally, it has hybrid powertrain options. Especially in this 500h, you're getting exceptionally good fuel economy and also a lot of power.
But of course, make sure to let us know what you guys think in the comments below, because there's a lot of reasons why you might go one way or the other, and we want to hear what you guys think about that. As always, thanks so much for tuning in to this video. We'd really appreciate if you would subscribe to let us know that you really enjoyed this comparison and you want to see more future comparisons as well. Take care, and we'll see you next time.